Hello, one and all, is my view of My Hero Academia, Chapter 334, Parting Gift. And that is such an absolutely perfect title for this chapter, as thanks to Star and Stripe's sacrifice, thanks to the amount of damage she managed to do to Shigaraki and All For One, she managed to buy Deku and the rest of them a few more days, a few more weeks maybe, to prepare to get ready for the big final battle against Shigaraki. And they need it. They definitely need it. I mean, Deku is certainly looking better than he did a few days ago. I mean, he's got the, less dead look to his face now. He looks well rested. He looks better. He definitely looks better. But after this last fight, just God above, the stakes have been raised. I mean, it's been pages after pages of giant kaiju-level, god-level battling back and forth. I mean, Shigaraki survived multiple missiles, a 1,000-foot-tall woman, and a freaking lightsaber directly to his face. So, yeah, it's going to take a whole lot for Deku to reach that level, for Deku to reach a point where he's actually able to fight at that level and actually be able to stop Shigaraki. I'm not exactly sure how he's going to do that, but a few more days will certainly help. Though that certainly wasn't her only parting gift, it seems like she managed to do enough damage to All For One where she was actually able to reach Tenko, the scared little child just wrapped up in all the hatred and pain and suffering caused by All For One. And it reached him, and he thought to himself, some hero, Midoriya, he is calling for Deku. He is asking Deku to come save him, to free him from just this monster that has consumed him, and I cannot wait. I cannot freaking wait for it. I mean, I've been saying for a very long time, I thought the big final battle of the series would be Deku and Shigaraki teaming up to take down All For One inside the Quirk Realm. And this really makes me think that might actually happen. I mean, just imagine if it's in the big final battle in the Quirk Realm, Deku, he's beaten, he's bruised, he's wounded, he's on his last leg, and just it seems like all hope is lost. Just like it seems he's lost, Tenko bursts free. Tenko manages to break free of All For One's control and holds him back long enough for Deku to deliver the finishing blow, for Deku to stop All For One, and then Deku can turn to him and say, Tenko Shimura, thank you for saving me. Thank you for being my hero. Oh, I would love that. Absolutely freaking love to see that. And then, like I've said many times before, I think Aer's going to step up and basically rewind him from all the damage, from all the pain, from all the influence of All For One, from the decay quirk, from everything, and basically turn him back into a kid, a child. Because then we will have Shigaraki, Eri, and Kota all around the same age, and all able to go to UA together when they're old enough, when they turn 16 or whatever. And that'll be the sequel series. Those three as best friends in high school. Oh, I would love it. I would absolutely freaking love to see that. And while I'm on the subject of parting gifts and sequel series, there's one other little thing I want to talk about. It definitely seems like Star and Stripe New Order was killed in this chapter, like her revolting against Shigaraki and All For One, all the other quirks, basically caused so much damage to her quirk factor that she, more or less melted, she broke apart, she decayed, she died, but what if she didn't? What if she managed to survive long enough to actually be transferred to this other person, to Kashiko Kashi? I mean, it certainly seems strange. They gave this guy a bit of a backstory, a name, what he was, in jail for, and even a girlfriend or sister or something. I mean, she looks a lot like him, so I'm thinking sister, but either way, they gave this person a lot of character, so is it possible that maybe some remnant of New Order managed to pass on to him? Because, that does leave some very interesting possibilities. On one hand, we could see, him basically turned into the ultimate Nomu, an ultimate power source that Deku needs to, take down somehow, some way, which would be sad and tragic, but also pretty interesting. But on the other hand, we have a much more interesting story if Star and Stripe is still alive inside of him, if she becomes his quirk factor, if she talks to him in his dreams, if she's able to basically influence his actions moving forward and basically turns him into a freaking hero. Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. I mean, yes, he was convicted for robbery and murder, so not a great guy, but unlike all the other villains, when he actually was able to be freed, he didn't go on a mass killing spree, he didn't go robbing, killing, whatever. He just wanted to find a second chance. He wanted to get a new life in the boonies where he could live a peaceful, happy existence, so maybe he really does have what it takes to be a true hero. Oh, I would love that. Absolutely freaking love that's the case. But again, this is definitely crazy conspiracy theory territory. So probably almost certainly not the case. But I just really want to throw that out there because I think it'd be such an absolutely amazing story for them to tell. And it definitely seems like they put a lot of focus on this guy, on showing, Shigaraki finding him and trying to give the power to him. So maybe. But almost certainly not. Anyway, though, rest of the chapter, it definitely seems like All For One took some serious damage in this fight, and New Order managed to destroy a lot of his quirks, and it really raised the question, exactly which quirks? I mean, All For One has dozens or hundreds of quirks in his body right now, and as I said in the last video, he probably has more than one recovery, regeneration type quirk, so even if, she managed to destroy 1 or 2 or 5 of them, he probably has backup, so yeah, I'm not really sure if she's able to destroy any quirks of significance, any quirks of real value to him inside the quirk realm, or if she has managed to do enough damage where he's taking longer to recover and he's unstable now, and he needs time to basically heal and recover his strength. I mean, maybe. I'm actually really not sure about that. And then as a rather unfortunate side effect to her sacrifice, the rest of the world decided, yeah, we're not going to send any heroes to Japan because they'll just die. And, right now America's in absolute chaos because they lost the number 1 hero, the strongest woman in the world, so we really can't afford to do that. So all our heroes are going to stay, in our own countries where they are, which, unfortunate, very unfortunate. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people online who are super disappointed about this, but for me, I'm happy. I am definitely happy this is the case because, quite frankly, when they first said way back when that, oh, we're going to call for help from foreign heroes, that bothered me. That just so bothered me. It's like, seriously, this cast is already, 50 characters long? It's a very big series. It is a freaking huge series. Class 1A, Class 1B, the Pro Heroes. I'm just saying, there's such a large cast already, and they wanted to introduce new heroes, new characters at the last minute to come in and save the day. I mean, that could lead some pretty cool fights, but I'd much rather have us actually see, Class 1A, Class 1B, the pro heroes we know, actually stepping up, actually being, the final fighters in this series, going against the villains, changing the tide of war, solving the problems, saving Japan on their own, by themselves, and showing how much they've grown over the last 300 freaking chapters. Introducing new characters, new heroes now would have just been unpleasant to me. Very unpleasant. Though I do think this one hero, Salam, is going to end up coming to Japan. He's going to defy his nation's orders. Some other pro heroes might as well. At the last possible minute, and they'll, show up and save the day. Huzzah! Arriving at the very last minute like a true hero should. I would like to see that, have them show up to help wrap up the fight, but for the actual fights, I want to see the heroes we've known and loved for, like I said, the last 300 freaking chapters. Salam, though, he might actually end up coming a little bit earlier than them because this isn't actually his first appearance. He actually appeared in the most recent My Hero Academia movie. I mean, very briefly, but he was in there, which, interesting. A very interesting connection between the manga and the movies right there. Curious about that. Also, something else I'm curious about. All Might says, Cassie, I wish I could have seen her. What exactly is All Might's connection to Cassie, to Star and Stripe? I mean, I know, he saved her when she was a kid, but, they're, two of the most famous heroes in the entire world. Have they met since then? Have they talked? Have they met, in the first My Hero Academia movie, there was this big, I forget what it was, but, gathered a whole bunch of heroes from all over the world. So could they have met at events like that, bringing pro heroes from the globe together? I mean, that'd be really interesting to have seen, just... God. Her fangirling out about meeting All Might, meeting the man who saved her again. That would just be so absolutely adorable to see in a flashback. I mean, even as sad as I am that she's gone, I would still so love to see that. I mean, it calls her Cassie, not Star and Stripe or anything like that. It makes me think, either he's kept up a relationship with her over the years, or he's met her since then. I feel like it'd be weird to call a little girl he met once, 20 years ago by her name like that, especially when she was, a pro hero. So, not sure. I mean, would absolutely freaking love if next chapter we get to see a flashback of All Might, doing a video call with Star and Stripe, talking about the new generation of heroes, talking about Deku, talking about how they need to pave the way for those who come after them. That would just be such an absolutely amazing epilogue to her story, and I pray we get that either next chapter in the manga or maybe in the anime. I mean, maybe. I'll see about that. But anyway, we have one more parting gift from Star and Stripe, the X-66. Because she managed to protect her fellow soldiers and their planes, the planes managed to land in Japan, and they are just chock full of juicy data on All For One, on Shigaraki, on all the quirks he used, and on his, very nature, his biology, exactly what it is he's made of, which they'll be able to use to study and analyze and figure out how much time they have before he's complete. And then we see a very brief flash over to Central Hospital. That's where Aizawa and the doctors are studying Korigiri, trying to figure out a way to bring back his memories, trying to figure out a way to unbrainwash him and turn him back into more or less human. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to see exactly what happens there. But, they're able to actually analyze the data, and they're able to figure out they have probably about a week before Shigaraki recovers enough where he's able to actually, come after them again. And given the fact that everyone is fully dressed in their hero attire here, it seems almost like they thought, okay, today's the day we're going to fight Shigaraki. And then All Might showed up and said, oh, no, deadline extension. You guys got, another week or so. Which, if so, would just be so absolutely hilarious. I'd freaking love that. But there's definitely some interesting details here, because it seems like everyone has a very different hero outfit than they did even, 2 days ago when they brought Deku back to UA. So could they have gotten upgrades since then? I mean, it's definitely hard to tell because there's not a lot of detail in this panel, but it's very obvious some of these characters have very different outfits than they did even just a few days ago. I mean, Ida's wearing all black. It looks like Uraraka has her hair differently, or has her hair up or something. I'm not sure about that. It's curious. Momo, her outfit's even more revealing than it was before, because of course it was. I think the author even said at one point, he just keeps making her outfit more and more revealing in every arc of the series, which, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it does serve a purpose, She needs more skin exposed so she can use the full ability of her quirk to actually make bigger and bigger things. So it's plot relevant, like Midnight's was. Oh, Midnight, I miss you. But the most interesting thing here is probably Deku, because he's just wearing his school uniform. He's just wearing his gym outfit while the rest of them are all dressed up as heroes, which, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, his hero outfit was destroyed beyond all recognition. They had to burn it. They basically had to burn it simply because of how bad it smelled. So it makes sense that, he wouldn't have a new outfit at this point in the series. But I'm kind of curious, is this what he's actually going to be wearing into the big final battle? I mean, it would make sense for him as a character. He's just Deku. He's not flashy. He just likes things the way they are. So maybe. But we have, I forget her name, but the girl who's just so obsessed with, all the hero gadgets, who I'm sure at this very moment is working her fingers to the bone, trying to figure out a costume that can actually contain the full power of Deku, actually use all of his quirks to their full ability and limit. I mean, I think Deku still has the gloves and knee pads from his hero outfit here, so that's something, but yeah, I'm sure she can do a whole lot more to actually make an outfit that is worthy of Japan's new #1 hero. Assuming he's actually worthy of that title, because like I said before, Shigaraki and All For One, they're fighting a level of freaking gods right now, and Deku really needs some upgrades to reach that point. I mean, I think he still has the second user's quirk, which he hasn't, fully unlocked or used yet, so maybe that's, his big ultimate weapon in some way of making him even stronger, faster, more powerful, figuring out a way to actually, be able to rival Shigaraki, maybe somehow, some way, not sure about that. But please, anything else down below. What do you think of what I think is new outfits? I mean, I'm fairly certain these are new outfits. Do you think these are new outfits? Let me know about that. Do you think there's any possibility that New Order may have passed on to this guy, to this random, murderer and thief? I mean, like I said, definitely unlikely, but I really just want to throw it out there because I think it'd be such a cool possibility for a spin-off series, a sequel to this series. And speaking of which, do you think we'll have a sequel series of Shigaraki, Eri, and Kota all going to UA together? I mean, even if it's just like one panel or a few panels, in the final chapter of the series, a very brief epilogue, I would so love it. And just the fan art afterwards would be absolutely so amazing. I would so love to see that. But please, let me know down below. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. And until then, peace.